Commissioners, your meeting is live.
Well, good morning. Welcome to the January 29th meeting of the Raleigh County Commissioners. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, our first order of business is doing a presentation of a retirement plan. Does anyone want to come up and speak? There you go. Oh, there's a microphone there.
No.
Say anything.
No, no, anything. Yes. I want to thank everybody for my 19 years. It's been a joy learning a lot of stuff over the years, and I didn't realize how appraising went, until I got here and learned the ropes of how it all went. So it is a joy to learn how that all works. So, and I appreciate everybody, and thanks.
Well, this is a presentation to Karen Grader, appreciation of your 19 years of service with Raleigh County.
Oh, but thank you.
That's hard to do, isn't it? Yeah. Lots of plans. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know you were famous.
Right first. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thanks.
Congratulations. Thank you for 19 years.
Yeah.
I know. I always think maybe someday they'll prove me right.
Okay, so we'll start with commission comments. Commissioner Ford, you want to start?
Sure. Boy, it seems like it's been forever, but it's just been a week. It's January, I guess, kind of works like that. But post meeting on Thursday, took some time to get stocked up on some things. The cupboards were kind of bare from being sick and stuff, but got a couple of personal meetings rescheduled and taken care of from when I was sick as well. So gradually getting caught back up. That's the point. Friday, I attended the Regional Growth Summit hosted by the Manhattan Area Chamber of Commerce at the K-State Alumni Center. Had a few welcomes and introductions from Andrew Brookings from the Stormont Vale Center here. Later got an update from Matt Tarleton, who was the consultant on last year's growth study. He's also from Atlanta, if anybody was wondering about that. We had a conversation about the Atlanta Braves, since I'm a Braves fan. But anyway, also heard from the team at MBAF and all what's going on there. We heard from Justin Prenant. I know I chopped up that name. He's the managing partner at Pomeroy Development and Properties, who gave a presentation called Inside the Deal, Why Development is Harder Than It Looks. We had a moderated housing panel with Travis Hecht, realtor from Wamego, Tyler Holloman from Frontier Development and Construction, and Stacy Icahn, city manager from the city of Wamego. Again, I got an update from United States Senator Roger Marshall, who was there in person. And then we had a congressional staffers panel with Reed Petty from Senator Moran's office, Dawson Maring from Representative Mann's office, and Fran O'Lean from Representative Schmidt's office. Then after lunch, we had a handful of community updates, including Fort Riley Garrison Commander Jerry Nunziato, Junction City, Manhattan, Wamego Area Chambers, Manhattan Regional Airport, Pot County Economic Development Corporation. And then I missed the rest of the dialogue that day as I needed to get some things done before the storm. And seemed like it was well attended, but the alumni center is a lot smaller than the conference center, so yeah, it was kind of, yeah. Kind of hard to get in and out of the parking garage too, but it's what it is. Stayed in all weekend due to the weather. Got some pressing things done at home I've been putting off. Watched K-State men's and women's basketball games. That's 4 hours of my life I'm never going to get back. And watched both of the NFL championship games on Sunday. And that was pretty good, quite honestly. Tuesday, attended the January Board of Directors meeting with the Pawnee Mental Health via Zoom. Had my usual finance oversight committee, which I'm on, discussing November and December's financials. Usually do it month to month, but we put it off on December. Pre-general meeting. General meeting started with a call to order, some welcomes and new introductions of both new members and some staff. Got a chief financial officer's report by Lindsay Miller, chief executive officer report by Mike Ruskella, marketing development report as well. Finance oversight committee discussed what we discussed in that committee meeting too. The other business, including the hire of legal counsel, reports. Let's see, reports on board appointments, old appointments, new appointments. Had the election of officers for the year, transfer of custody documents. We reviewed committee chairs and members, checked on the checking account signature list, who needs to be on there and who doesn't, updated the organizational chart, updated the board members list, and then we had 2 executive sessions dealing with non-elected personnel. Then yesterday afternoon, I attended Local Government Day in Topeka, hosted by the Kansas Association of Counties. Started with a kind of meeting presentation with various county officials and KAC staff to discuss issues and challenges that we were facing. Wasn't a really large crowd yesterday. Kind of caught me. Maybe it was the weather. I'm not really for sure, but our discussion was really, really good. Then we later headed over to the Beacon and met up with our municipal colleagues. We heard from Governor Laura Kelly, who gave a speech. Then we had a moderated open discussion that included Jay Hall from KAC, Topeka Mayor Spencer Duncan, and from the League of Municipalities, Nathan Eberling. Finished off things with an evening social, gave us a time to interact with various state lawmakers. Speaking of Jay Hall, we're losing Jay Hall.
Oh, wow.
Yes. He's taking a job with the KNEA doing the same work.
Oh,
So his last day is February 16th, and yeah, it's a loss. It
Yeah.
really is a loss.
Yeah.
And we weren't short on telling him that. So yeah, so he'll be missed, but fortunately, he'll still be working up there at the Capitol. So if you're ever up there, definitely say hi. So, and on that bad note, that's all I've got this morning.
Okay, Commissioner McKinley.
well, as you mentioned, it seemed like about a month ago, but I something that it was just a week. But last Thursday afternoon, I received a call from Senator Moran, and the appropriation bill that was signed by the president on last Friday was an additional grant for the Keats Sewer Project, the amount of $1 million. Since then, I've been talking to this, excuse me. He wants to distract. Since then, I've been talking to his staff in Manhattan to learn what processes we have to go through to get that thing started. And I thought, discussed it with Amanda.
Did you? Good.
So
That's amazing.
it was out of the blue. He calls me,
What
oh, by the way.
What piece of money did that come from, do you know?
Thanks. What? It's STAG, which is State and Tribal Assistance Grants.
Yeah.
Oh,
I hadn't even heard of them.
I
When
haven't,
he said what it was, I had to look it up to see what it was. He said, it's a STAG grant, but okay. So,
They got staff up there to look through and take care of this.
yes.
Yep.
And like I say, then I talked to, what's his name, Jake, at the intergovernmental lunch and run from his staff. Friday was the Regional Growth Summit. John covered a lot of that. And then one thing that is, we had supposed to be a panel discussion from some of the representatives that started off with a campaign speech from Senator Marshall. And depends what it was.
No, I agree.
It wasn't.
Yeah,
I was irritated with that. And then, as you mentioned, Colonel Nunziato had a update him for, he's always entertaining.
Yeah, like.
And he was pointing out that a large number of soldiers are going to be deployed, but there's still a lot of family members who will be staying. And then, but also in the NBAF, in their review, they talked about they've been released from the hiring freeze and they'll be hiring 150 people within this year.
That's it.
Across the board, it's not just upper level science.
Right, yeah, top to bottom, so. Weekend was spent huddled up trying to stay warm. We did venture out to see K-State men's basketball.
Oh,
Lose another game at the end. Monday was the intergovernmental luncheon. Heard from about a website by K-State called All Things Kansas. It's an interactive site with multiple layers of data compiled from federal, local, state, all kinds of different things that you can make up your own charts from different, pulling data from different places. Seemed pretty interesting. Tuesday was a construction meeting for the emergency management fire project. And they were able to, you can see, they were able to complete most of the exterior concrete in the unseasonably warm weather, which ended this weekend. However, the discouraging part of the last week has been exchanging emails with a couple of state legislators, tried to explain why some of the proposed legislation that they're in favor of on taxes and elections will cause a lot more problems that it'll solve, but
it's just funny too.
could not be persuaded. They knew what how they thought.
I appreciate you trying, but I'm not surprised.
There's several other ones too.
Yeah, I mean, that's like I said, there's other things I thought, well, I'll just bring this out, and they weren't interested. That's all I had.
Okay. Well, let's see. Monday, our county offices were closed due to weather and road conditions. And then at noon, I too attended the intergovernmental luncheon at Rocky Case. They did an overview of all things Kansas. Ladies there were Jessica Ned and Jennifer Tyndall from the K-State's Economic Development Offices. And they did say the common areas of interest for our region would be agriculture, economy, health, and healthcare, population trends and profiles, water, and many other topics they had that we could work on and play with all the numbers. I didn't find out, and I didn't hear how current those numbers are, but I don't think they said. I have some flyers if anybody's interested in going online and working with those numbers. So they spent a lot of time on it. So anyway, then let's see, the next meeting will be on February 23rd, hosted by City of Manhattan. They are probably looking for items. Monday evening, I attended the Riley County Livestock Association annual banquet at Potter Hall. It was cold getting up, but it's not too far from my house. They had a short business meeting, and then after dinner, as followed, there was a presentation by Dr. Cassandra Olds, and she's a veterinary entomologist from K-State, and she gave a long report on the Asian longhorn tick and its threat it plays to Kansas cattle and humans. She also got into the immunity that they try to get in herds, and it was like, call me if you have any problems. So she was pretty into that. So it was good. Then they had a silent auction followed by an auctioneer for the items that weren't bid on, plus other larger items. They had a lot of donations. I don't recall the exact amount raised, but it was, I think they said around $3,500. So. Then Wednesday, worked on some frustrating online computer issues, which took hours. Went through today's packet. I worked on some law board items for the next meeting. Spent quite a bit of time on the phone with some constituents over some upcoming issues for the board, the law board. And in the evening, I did go to the bell choir practice at the church, so. That's me for the.
Ready for business, commissioners? First item I have, the motion on the assignment agreement from Howie's to buyer and sign consent letter.
It says in there that the letters attached. It's not. What is the contract for with the? With Howie?
It sounds like they're
Yeah, they're being bought out.
They're getting bought out, yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it's transfer of ownership.
Just, but we have a contract with them. With Howie's.
Yeah, we have a trash services contract, so it'll be a transfer of our contract with the current ownership to the new ownership of Howie's. So,
Where's this group from?
I'm sorry.
All
The new group.
All over Kansas, Oklahoma.
That's not Oakland anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah, I looked them up to see who it was.
yeah, I did as well.
They're all over the place. Which is,
That's funny.
Equity investors getting into trash. And it's.
No, it's somebody.
It's a deep research with that.
oh. Well, I just wondered because they've got like Dallas and Oklahoma City.
It's another way.
Hayes.
Well, there's probably not a lot of competition, so maybe that's a market to get into. Is what it is. Okay. Well, with that said, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the request letter.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the assignment of agreements from Howie's to buyer and sign the consent letter. All in favor?
Chair, please sign. Acknowledging consent the assignment of contract with public, a subsidiary of Allied Base Systems Inc.
Same thing with him.
You know, another.
I thought that was
Yeah. Well, I move to acknowledge the consent to the assignment of the contract with the public.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to consent to the assignment of the contract to Republic. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You sign. Quote submitted by McPherson Concrete Company in the amount of $34,030.15 for reinforced concrete block.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve concrete or the contract with Wallsburg Road for reinforced concrete box. All in favor? Aye.
Next, Commissioner, need a motion on tax roll correction.
Make a motion that we approve tax roll corrections as listed.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the tax roll corrections as presented. All in favor?
Chair, please sign. Relative employee action forms, Dalton Clark, new hire, volunteer firefighter, fire district number one. Sophie Wentz, new hire, intern, Zoom department. Lawrence Davy, new hire, custodian, public works department. Trevor Clark, volunteer firefighter, fire district number one, separation of service. Samuel Switzer, volunteer firefighter, in fire district number one, separation of service. Aaron Curtis, fiscal analyst, health department, separation of service.
Go ahead, and make that. Go ahead.
I moved to approve the requested employee action forms.
Second.
So moved and seconded, to approve the requested employee action forms. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All three, please sign.
Yes.
Looks like they were sledding over there on that hill, but it's not a very big hill to try to sled off of, is it?
Yeah, it looked like somebody was in
that ditch.
Oh, that's a very good point. That's a very good point.
It'd be a hard fall.
Yeah, I looked, it looked like it was a disc.
They're sliding off.
That's funny.
I have video of that one.
Just don't slid off the other side.
I'd make a good TikTok.
Looked like it was disc.
Yeah, that's true.
I-
I'm too old for all of it, so you won't see me out there.
Right, I'll put.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
My name's John Oswald, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw him the other day. Boy, he's aged.
Yeah. All that stuff wore on me.
Yeah. He's gonna be regretting that in another 10 years or so too.
Any changes in the minute?
No, I did see one. And okay, item number 8,
Mhm.
there's a typo on that, something about Jacob, something about deviates is misspelled, deviates.
Deviation is spelled.
Deciates, yes.
Oh, really?
Yes, it deciates, yeah.
Just, I say, just the letter, next letter on the keyboard hit.
Yeah.
And credit, you're corrected.
Any other corrections? Or additions?
Make a motion to approve the minutes from the January 22nd meeting of the Riley County Commission as amended.
A second,
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from the January 22nd meeting of the Riley County Commissioners as amended. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and the agenda look okay, commissioners?
Yep.
Any comments for next week? Okay. Executive session. Okay. A minute. Full time, Jacob. Yes, sir.
What's the time on that term two? What is it? Oh, okay.
Okay. I'm going to move that the county commissioners, including Chairwoman Folke, Vice Chairman Ford, and Commissioner McKinley with Jacob Hansen, County Counselor, and Michael Hawthorne, Assistant County Counselor, attorneys for the commission, Diane Creek, Health Department Director, and Kaylin Speff, Riley County WIC Supervisor, recess into executive session for legal consultation regarding personnel matters, an exception to the Kansas Open Meetings Act, with the open meeting to resume in the commission chamber at 9:20 a.m.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded for the county commission to recess into executive session for the reasons previously stated under the attorney-client consultation exception to the Kansas Open Meetings Act. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, commissioners, your meeting is live.
Okay. I'll move the Board of County Commissioners come out of executive session.
Second.
So moved and seconded that the board come out of executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I also move that the record reflect action shall be taken consistent with the consensus reached in executive session.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that the record reflect action shall be taken consistent with a consensus reached in executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Did you have paper on this today?
Give you this.
Apparently this is Public Works Day.
Public Works Day. I get a week in April.
Right?
Good morning, Commissioner John Ellerman, Public Works. And if we go in order on the agenda, first I have on there is a request to fill a position of a customer service representative. She is moving back home, South Dakota, so will leave us in about middle March. We'd like to start looking and refill that position. It's a full-time budgeted position. Takes care of all our phone calls and greeting people as they come in and accepts payments. There's a lot of work on us, helping us with our imaging program, getting road records and legal descriptions into the maps to look up road records and that information. So pretty important position for us and to have someone greet people as they come in.
I move to approve Public Works advertised for the fill customer service representative one position.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Public Works Department advertise for and fill the customer service rep one position. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All three, please sign.
Thank you. The next one on my list, we can go ahead and start. Is the space needs assessment for the health department FCRC building. And the selection committee last couple of weeks ago went through the interviews of the three selected firms, Anderson Knight, Finkel Williams, and Arch Images. At the end of all the interviews, we came out with recommending Arch Images to do the study, the assessment needs study. They have experience. Doing it. They did a really good job presenting what they would do as part of the assessment needs and that thing. So they've done EMS station. They're working on the emergency management fire remodel. So they are familiar with the area and the buildings here around here. So we like to use Arch Images to do the study.
And it's just looking at your grading scale or whatever it was, it looks like one of the big things was prior experience and performance was.
Yeah, it helped that it showed us the forms and the paperwork, how they went about the study that they did on EMS. When they went through all the EMS and emergency management, who needed what space and how they did that. They used that as an example and really went into detail on how they were approaching the project. So unless Diane thinks of something different, she can, and Commissioner Folke, then.
That's gonna be real challenging
Yeah.
to figure this out. So let's, got 3 high points in it, experience, staff availability, and they're ready to start right away.
Good. Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the selection of Arch Images to perform the space needs assessment for the health department and family and child resource.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the selection of arch images and form this, excuse me, space needs assessment for the health department and the Family and Child Resource Center. All in favor?
I,
Thank you. The next on our list is annually, Public Works budget includes a $60,000 for a community park. It's called the Community Park Fund. That money is spread out between all the smaller town local parks, the Leonardville, Riley, Randolph, Ogden gets some. You just approved a few years ago, Zedale Park. We have Keats is on there too, and Fairmont is on that list to maybe receive funds. We try not to ask them for any funds because we can cover those with budget most of the time, unless they have some that left over. This last couple of years, a couple of the towns have bigger projects that they can't do with the amount of money they would get their share of this. So we've been putting some of that into a CIP account to keep track and let them build up these funds that they are issued this each year. So Leonardville is asking or received $10,000 and they're asking to move that into a CIP, as well as Ogden is asking received 10,000 and asking to put that, and they're trying to build restrooms at their park, and $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 is not going to build you a restroom in a park. So, and we've done this, I think, at least the last 2 years where they each have some funds built up in there, CIP. That's what this one is all about, is asking to get their allocation of the community park fund into CIP.
Yeah, that's what Randolph did several years ago. They kept
Yes.
building it up over several years before they do the restroom project.
Yeah, that and some other funds I think they used to get there,
Yeah,
but I mean, they're not going to build it with just these, but
These are supplemental items they get.
That 10,000 would cover restrooms.
it doesn't go very.
Now house.
Yeah.
made out of wood.
Move to approve the 2026 community park allocations as presented. Recommend that Park Advisory Board and transfer of 20,000 to CIP for future projects.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the 2026 community park allocations as presented and recommended by the Raleigh County Park Advisory Board to transfer $20,000 to CIP for future larger projects. All in favor? Aye.
This next one is, I'm not sure I totally understand what we're doing here, other than I think at one time, City of Manhattan would receive some of these park allocation. And instead of giving them any, we kind of trading off some work. We mow around all the trails and keep those up, even if they are run into the city side of the park. So that's what this is we're just keeping track of our time and labor that we put in off of county property, that we don't build the city with it. We're just kind of, I think, keep track of that and then write it off as at the end of the year. And this has been going on since, I think, April of 81 is what it looks like. So
I'm sure that the city does their share too.
they do. I can't tell you if they get onto county side property to do any maintenance. I think they're hard pressed to even make up sometimes to do just their own on their stuff.
So this is just for county.
This is just county labor on Summit City Trail property that we mow, basically just mowing.
Any other question?
And I'll go ahead and move to approve the write-off for the city of Manhattan in the amount of $465.56.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to for the city of Manhattan, outstanding balance in the park accounts receivable. $465.56 to be written off per the auditor's instruction. All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Hey, John. Thank you. I'll, 9:15, bit of a thing.
Get that written on.
Oh, yeah, she's had, right? Yeah. So she should be.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna stop in later.
Yeah. There's one point.
That's an issue.
Oh, okay, so
That's said, that's six.
I mean, they should put that in.
So,
Where's the cost?
Sometimes. So, yeah.
Just give her.
He said. Somebody's got said, I know I get it. Let's see that this shit all looks scary. Yeah. Good job. Yeah.
That all goes through the park.
Yeah, that's the one I see. Excessive.
Don't worry.
Yeah, it's
So, right, how it's. They're above. To the right. Also. Some stuff.
Yeah, we switched it.
Can't do it. Well, that's.
Also forget to.
But I get a schedule worse.
Well, that's fine. We can, yeah, I didn't know the reason.
So it's just, yeah, 2 months ago, they needed to schedule.
Well, they were changing on Friday afternoon at 3. Just
That's the
time.
you know.
I like the monotone.
Yeah. It's.
Yeah, it's, yeah, I usually go home and Friday's kind of changes.
Change our minds.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So on that, so.
Yeah.
You were, you might have just. Is that like? Gonna take a lot to plug it up.
Yeah. It's. You're 2%. See a lot of organizations like that. There's such kind of signs and lines, which is that we give them. So somebody else does.
We had to apply for anything else.
Says you have to apply for.
It's cute.
Yes.
Hopefully it's not us.
Well, yeah.
But whatever.
It's like saying, it's saying that kind of stuff was said. So you're not the home. This is the beginning, it's all good, yeah, it's just that. No, they're.
With their, you told me that I called her Friday, I mean, what is it? She said, I haven't heard anything. So good there.
But then I was so he said, oh, that did you have sent me just not sent me as also. Yeah, Jake. Here's the information. So I had a message here with. And talk to them.
Same belly also. Suppose everything's going to. Say case today. Yeah, stuff. Yeah, right. Those are like, and I thought, God, the officers in the. Yeah, there's this name tag. Okay, set my name tag, it's student. What's it? It's, you said all the information is. I'll spit out. Yes. So get the idea, is that so. This is.
Yes, I really need to see him do anything. Maybe.
Well, my fifth month's leave is.
No, not for them.
I need tired, it's long for lizard.
He never comes and read. He did a campaign speech.
It's supposed to be. Yeah, somebody from each one of the roles. Yeah. Give us some. Yes. And they should hear some. This one is too. It's used to all of I said they used to. She like.
Oh, yeah.
And she got, and then she had even.
Yeah, they do presentation. Some meetings.
She did some station that. They said everybody said there's a bit of ability.
It's really cool. It's a good thing.
And it's been real about stuff.
Really a good presentation. It's like keeping on words. Yeah. Yeah, they have, they're gonna enlarge that and make an event, should be great. That old.
Save that.
Even the dance like active in that. It's like he's really a good. I love it. I love for a community. That was all open, you know. In the States, always working. He died. He would be happy to see them. She have to do a practicum. Oh, yeah.
And I think she said, he's probably something. See, that says like first he says.
He says something.
But it's not, it's all over.
Get that to it's trying to be a neat system.
They got some stuff in this, but it won't be.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a original building, but then.
Yeah. Cause I've seen. I'm charging this one is 7 days. That's like 7. Yeah, you try to sell somebody.
Oh, yeah.
She'll take this.
I emailed
You.
Oh, no, he did it on that.
I met him Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna get some of that.
I love it.
You talk.
Yeah.
First, they gave us the signature, more they see,
Mhm.
and I see people so. Yeah.
No. Tell her to get it done just as soon rather than cheaper. So that I was gonna tell you that things I know what she wants. If they're able to be, get on top of them. This is. We're gonna discuss that. Very serious and big. So I thought we'd give it on.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 10 years or so, how much kind of time are you spending? You know, how much is costing, and so he's on time. So he has some stuff.
That's what they want. If you are. One of the other days you miss it, it's talking about the same. Some of the statutes that can be less obviously. Yeah.
They're charging people. I don't know what it is now, but. I mean,
Yeah, I can bring that back to your first.
Yeah.
But she is consistent. Now, I guess it's something that had through so much time. It's just enough to get the whole area such a compressed. Yes.
Yeah.
It's very, like, well.
I should
Yes.
and she was here, Senate Bill 41, exemptions, what was that? It was on all those sheets that we signed, the exemption for SB 41.
There was one. I was gonna ask us that, I had some questions for them.
Yeah.
There's a SB 319. Say, you get a check. And that's the 90%. Well, I'll tell you, I was doing this, once we know, I mean, sometimes it's already have, so that's. I didn't see that, I just went over some more, but that's two changes.
Yeah, but it's self-esteem.
You know, and that's, well, see, the big acts and saying, it's just saying, oh, whatever, but it's.
Well, you know, they are just changing valuation based on the savings. You tell new statutes. So, you know, so that's.
We need to lie, sometimes they'll.
Get what it starts.
That's something that's on chain. Appreciate it. Yeah. I'm gonna throw that have a good one. Sometimes that's all I work. It's gonna take a little while. I think it's in here. Do you know something? So they need. I don't know. It's something we will raise.
Doesn't these days. Back then, did you go?
I think the insurance. I just give it.
Oh.
We should reach. There's no.
Really?
So there's go. And if you don't, but it's small. You know,
It's hard to.
we thought that building gates and then that just. Here's a you know, don't keep silence. Yeah, that's it. It's like. I got one that's same handle. This. So here you go. To the left. Yes, you're going. Shit. Yeah. Well, that's not like it's good now if he's. So you guys have to go over there. I was wondering, it's yeah, they don't have to do it.
No, they don't. Yeah.
They do ag. There's no cities there. Yeah, somebody's gotta be. Chance for us. I'm ready to do it. Houses. We extra buildings and all that stuff.
Well, I think okay, stuff on the years.
Yeah.
No thoughts. Yeah.
Especially because mine was able to find us. I think so. There wasn't anyone in clean. So.
So the similar.
So they're looking. You can get that is really. That's fine. Because you
Not so much when you sell it. Well. This whole thing, the state should be.
So you won't really know that process.
Yeah, Starnes is. It's a new thing now, he's got, I know they were gonna put a 3%, yeah, that guy,
I know there's no.
it's still one,
It's here, yeah, they lied last year, pushing so hard.
they had. The chair, caution. Too.
They got out of the way.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, that's right. I said,
also make it.
I said. Oh, the house was 200,000 kilo. They don't go. That's your. You can still stuff.
Bill.
Look at the taxes on the.
Sometimes when you do things, you can put your 1, 2, 3. And now, because anything else, it's just, I think that's what we need to figure out. All of them. But it has to move with, it has to move with. Elections, it's changing. Valuations, because valuation is my next, there's something gets rid of. I said, if you don't, I gotta pass the same.
So, except so many.
It's just that was just crazy. You know. The emotional reason associate.
Well, singer, well, I was thinking, no, if I can sell my house, I can sell anything I want to sell. It's what, but how can they, it would affect maybe a new buyer if they didn't have that. If they went to get a loan, they would have to make up that difference probably if it were counted. I don't know how that would.
Well.
Maybe in 5 years, I want to sell my house and come to Virginia. So I want to get as much as I can out of my house, and I'm not gonna look at a cap.
But that's it. And then it's a community said, so it actually. It goes up to that lot. What of us do that?
So it hurts the person that owns it.
Well, I think that's it. We're one of those. It's gonna be. It's gonna be storage house. That's one of the problems. It's gonna discourage anybody from. Just.
It's just totally unfair, and it's, what if you buy houses run down like the one in your neighborhood and spend a lot of money to fix it up, and it has a showroom price? They're gonna get 1,000.
Something about there is something I can let it up movements.
Yeah.
Oh, no, yes, you got.
Well, but my house was years ago, It's kind of
We don't get too wrapped up in it.
60,000, 70,000. It's a mess.
Okay, are we? Are we ready?
He's very friendly. So,
Oh, I'm going to know this year.
Okay. Guess we do have a bid opening here for steel materials and a bridge replacement. Looks like I've got two in this bid. First one is coming from Salina Steel and Supply. Got my handy letter opener.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Chop it off. Okay, what do we got going? Lots and lots of numbers. None of them You guys just really need just the overall price, or there's a whole list of stuff? Just the overall price, okay. Looks like the overall price here for everything listed is $8,252.56. Give me a second here and I'll look and see when they're gonna.
What was that again?
Hold on, that don't sound right.
Yeah, that's for the bottom, the total of everything.
Yeah, it says total at the bottom.
8,000, what?
No, that can't be right.
No,
I think they're missing a number on there.
Cheap.
Yeah, we wouldn't be even on the pit for that.
No,
No,
We'd sign it right now.
yeah,
At that rate, it'd take 10.
that's what it's showing. They might have missed a number on there.
8,000 what?
Can you say that again, Don?
Yeah, it was $8,252.56.
I bet they put the,
But they did leave a couple of things off, including steel cable, steel decking, and galvanized interlocking sheets. So
okay.
you know more about that than I do, so maybe that reduces the price.
The problem, decking part of it,
Yeah,
because it has to come from the vendor that sells it in Kansas. So they may not have been able to get it,
okay,
so through them to get it, so that might be the issue.
okay. Well, you do that when you go through the bid recommendation. I'm looking for an estimated delivery. Okay. Estimated delivery date could be February 3rd, 2023. So we could have it pretty quick.
February's our 26th.
Yeah. Of course, this bid was 45 days or something too, so. Okay. I'll let you look at my totals there.
Okay. Yeah, they just left a lot of stuff in money.
Yeah.
Oh, all the sheet pile, yeah, there's look.
A lot of expenses.
Visits from Salinas Steel. Total price of $8,252.56, but it is not a complete bid.
And that is from Salina, Kansas, if you didn't figure that out too.
Made a delivery date of February 3rd.
Okay. Second one that I have, and the last, is from Odin Enterprises. It was in Wahoo, Nebraska. I like to call it that state to the north.
Wow.
Maybe should have got no fun with the name Wahoo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lack of enthusiasm there.
Oh, no.
But it's Nebraska. I can't get enthusiastic, because if it was Kansas, I would get
Have you ever
enthusiastic.
seen a Wahoo?
Wow.
That's Yahoo.
Used to be David Letterman's, wow, was the home office of Wahoo, Nebraska.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He
Not
was.
all expensive, but it was for a little while. I'm not from Lincoln side, sticks out of me. Well, I was a little bit north.
Okay. All right. Total bid I have for this, and it lists everything except for the decking. Is $101,573.41.
The decimal point wrong.
Estimated delivery on that was January 23rd, 2026. Look, I already have it here.
I want to see that happen.
Yeah.
You'll get yourself a DeLorean and a flux capacitor and you can make that happen. Okay.
This bids from Odin Enterprises from Wahoo, Nebraska.
There we go.
Can't do anything right.
Total price, $101,573.41. Again, it does not include the decking price, but it does include everything else. The delivery
for the last week.
That just means we get
No,
a
it says
discount
date.
or something, right?
No, here, that's the date signed was the 20th. Delivery date of 3 to 4 weeks, late March for something. I guess it must be the NW at 21. And then other materials, 3 to 4 weeks.
And you said the issue with the decking is what?
There's only one company that you can buy it from. So
And that was the end of them, so.
Get a motion.
Yep, make a motion that I recommend, send these bids back to staff for further analysis and a recommendation.
I'll second.
It's moved and seconded to refer the bids back to staff for evaluation and recommendation. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You commissioners, next, Dick Hanson up at 10 o'clock.
Only a couple of weeks and pitchers and catchers will be reporting.
Oh, really?
Mhm. I think K-State's first game is the 19th or the 20th.
Commissioners. Good morning, Commissioners. Jacob Hanson, Riley County Councilor, here for administrative session. Just to talk about a couple things that are going on in my office. On Monday, we had our hearing with the Kansas Supreme Court on a Prairie Wood case. I believe the arguments, I think, went in our favor. I feel pretty strongly that we'll at least win on the issue that's the most important. And so we'll get to move forward with that. I'll update you guys as soon as I receive the opinion from the Kansas Supreme Court. And that might be some time. But in other capacities, this is an issue that affects, all jurisdictions in Kansas that deal with protest petitions in general. So they do have a reason to get it done sooner than later. So I expect a couple months. Perhaps that expectation is misfounded, but that's where I'm at with it. Any questions as far as the Prairie Wood case?
When they hear a case
Mhm.
and they don't sign on it for months,
Mhm.
seems like if they want to get it done as soon as, do they have a whole string of cases this week they heard
Yes.
today, and then they just.
They
have to
do.
go through one,
Yeah.
because it just seems like. Talk about something that happened that somebody talked to us about 2 months ago.
Right. So oral argument, some people would probably place the value of oral argument at perhaps not the highest in this process. It helps. It certainly, the way I've heard it phrased is that it can help tip a judge one way or the other. But for the most part, when you're going up to have that argument from the Supreme Court, they've already more or less, I mean, they're very well read on the facts, the law. Yeah, and they have people that also work for them that compile all that information. And then, of course, it's all recorded as well. I should mention that if you're interested and would like to see at least what you're paying for me, you can go check out my argument that I made. You can just look up Kansas Supreme Court, January 26, 2026, and we're the second case up. So, and then I'm following Dick Seaton, who is opposing counsel on that. The argument's relatively short, I would say. You get a 15-minute timer. I think I went a little bit over, but I was being peppered with questions, probably more so than the other party, which I think is a good thing. It means the judges or justices are interested and they're paying attention. So it's an interesting process, one I was honestly very happy to be a part of. I don't think that happens often, probably in this position. So very appreciative of the opportunity, and I hope I get a good result for the county on that. One other thing that I wanted to bring up, though, is I'm trying to, now that I'm finished with the Supreme Court, I'm trying to kind of readjust and focus on the legislative session that's going on. Obviously, with the flurry of bills moving past, we have a couple that have been scheduled for hearing that I'm trying to keep track of. We have Senate Bill 329, which the heading is requiring the county appraiser to submit a single property appraisal report at the valuation appeal hearing before the regular division of the State Board of Tax Appeals. That is set for hearing on February 3rd at 9:30 a.m. I'm sure our county appraisers are listening, so I'll throw that out there so she can watch that. We also have House Bill 2457, which is restricting residential homestead property taxes to not more than the established base of property taxes owed for individuals 65 years of age and older, and eliminating the property tax exemption for certain commercial property used for healthcare when in competition with other non-exempt properties. Quite a lengthy title. I haven't had time to look through a lot of these. Since we're early in the session, it's kind of hard to tell where these bills might evolve and end up. There's still a lot of hearings to get through, of course, and some are getting out of the Senate, some are getting out of the House, and we'll see kind of where things end up. But probably in a month or so, we'll have a better idea. But I absolutely plan on utilizing our lobbyists to the fullest extent, Bruno and Associates, to help kind of attack this issue. I know last time I was up here talked about Senate Concurrent Resolution 1616 and maybe developing a letter to go out to our local delegation. And speaking with our lobbyists, they informed me that leadership maybe has a different idea on how that should look, and we should probably not perhaps worry as much about 1616 as we had. So I'm putting the brakes on that one a little bit. We might decide to draft something a little bit more just broadly for the local delegation in general. But it sounds like from what I heard earlier, yeah, we're trying. Well,
Trying to look up the, so I was looking at the number from. Yeah, that was one of
There seems to be reasonable thought that there's not enough votes in the House on that.
Yeah.
I would expect so. Well, and that's where generally the problem lies with that particular legislation is they want it to help control local government spending, but it doesn't do that.
Right.
Uh, So, and I think, well, I think the leadership probably understands
I
that.
think the other part of that is it's restrictive on the front side of housing. So you're younger person, younger families, younger professionals. It's going to discourage them from buying homes.
Certainly.
Yeah, I see, buy a house that it jumps to true value. That's what I point out, saying, but there's housing shortage that's gonna. People not want to buy that house because. They
Right.
pay full value for you pay reduced value on some others.
Right. It certainly is an issue where we're looking at, like I said, I'm trying to switch gears now and focus on that. You know, as you guys are aware, we were recently hit with some large amount of discovery requests in one of the litigation matters we have going on. So I'm having to juggle that as well. And thankfully, Michael's helping me, of course, we're picking up everything else that my office is handling. So we're doing what we can, but we got our hands full, to say the least. So with that, any other questions, concerns, or thoughts on what my office can do for the county?
I think so.
All right. Thank you, Bill.
I heard somebody between 12 and 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And I think the key to that too is even if they get that over the line.
Yeah, it's intense.
Oh, okay, it says here staff.
I'm pretty sure the governor will veto it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if it comes back, I mean, you might be able to get enough to get them to vote for it, but are you gonna get the same group to come back?
Yeah.
and do the
Yeah,
veto?
that's one we.
And I think that's the second complication
I
to
think
it.
that, yeah, that's the thing I heard that they would, so that's what the testimony, well.
Yeah.
I guess they was saying, well, right, but.
Yes.
I heard it, they got out of buy to start getting worried, but,
Yeah.
but then they can buy through.
I don't think it's even been scheduled a hearing in the House yet. So, yeah.
But they don't get off around. Yeah, they're,
Well, my philosophy is if they don't do this, they're gonna end up doing something worse.
That's right.
It tends to be how it ends up. So we'll see. I think that might be one of the good things about a 90-day session too, is just might run out of time.
yeah.
So,
Next year.
Yeah. Because this is one that you're gonna have to get done pretty quick, because you're gonna have to get it on a primary ballot.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's gotta turn around, what's that, I don't even know what that process is.
For the state, I don't know. I could tell you what the process is for, do you know, Rich? How they,
No, I don't.
I know. They would have to go through the Secretary of State's office somehow, but I don't know what the process is.
So then, like,
Yeah,
pretty far off.
I'm pretty sure if it's a ballot question, which it is in a constitutional amendment, it's gotta be reviewed by the AG's office, I would think. Yeah. So, yeah, there is a process. I don't specifically know what it is.
Yeah, it's, yeah,
But we're sitting here beginning of February. That's got to be done at least by the beginning of August. It's not that far away.
yeah, yeah, for all stuff.
Yeah,
And the fact that it's gonna be done by March 31st. So.
yeah. I think you're probably going to have a lengthy veto session. That might stretch a day or two, but yeah.
I was gonna ask you about that, so I heard about recently, McMahon's not very pleased.
No, like it just complicates a lot of things.
Yeah.
And the impact, the negative impact is way worse than any there is no positive impact. It doesn't even hold us to any lines.
Yeah, just take a lot local control on.
Yeah. Oh, it's on.
So Catherine, you ready?
It's time.
Greg? Okay.
Past them, actually.
Well, I guess.
Well, I haven't been here much lately, right? I bet.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Bessie Hubbard with Riley County Community Corrections. Megan is at some required KDOC training, so you have me today. First, I'm going to start with our Community Corrections Monthly Update. Juvenile intake and assessment, we had 11 intakes in December. All of them were in Riley County, none in Clay. Of those 11, 4 youth were released to the parent or guardian, 3 were placed with a relative or a family friend, and 4 were placed in detention. For the Youth Court Intermediate Intervention Program, or IIP, we have 22 in December for Riley County. Again, still waiting on getting referrals in Clay County. For juvenile intensive supervision, Michael has 22, so his caseload does continue to grow. He has 14 on supervision. 5 of those are in a correctional facility. 1 was courtesy supervised out, and we had 2 that were compacted out to another state. Adult intensive supervision, we have 113 clients currently active. 97 of those are on supervision. 1 is in treatment, and we have 15 in jail. And we do have 30 current absconders. For recovery court, we had 18 participants in November, 17 in Riley and 1 in Clay. We have had 66 participants since the start of the program, and 21 participants have graduated from Riley County. 8 have graduated from Clay, and 19 have been removed or revoked from recovery court. And just a brief update on some random things. We have our KDOC grant applications. The deadline was pushed up last year, and it's also going to be moved up this year. So I assume this is going to be it going forward. The due date's March 13th. We'll be coming to you with our big packets full of application forms. We're going to get before our JCAB board a little bit early next week, so hopefully, or next month. So hopefully we can get those applications to you in a timely manner to review. And then also we have the Carolyn Pine grant that was supposed to expire December 31st, but we had a remaining balance of a little over $5,300, and we did get permission from the Carolyn Pine grant to carry those funds over. We use those to assist with eye care, dental care, IDs, clothing, transportation, and housing. So that's wonderful that they were allowing us to carry those over. And that's all I have for the update. I can move on to our grant application for the Greater Manhattan Community Foundation, which is a little bit similar to Carolyn Pine, but this one is specifically geared towards mental health. We've received funds from the Greater Manhattan Community Foundation since July of 2011. They go towards mental health related expenses, including psychological and mental health evaluations, medication evaluations, assistance with prescribed medications, and then it also helps secure stable housing, transitional housing, Oxford housing, things like that. This is obviously, as federal and state resources continue to decline, our client needs remain the same or increase. So having these funds allows us to secure those services for our clients. So we are requesting permission today to apply for the 2026 Greater Manhattan Community Foundation grant.
But make a motion then to allow Riley County Community Corrections to apply for the 2026 Greater Manhattan Community Foundation grant.
A second.
So moved and seconded to allow for the Riley County Community Corrections to apply for the 2026 Greater Manhattan Community Foundation grant. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And I have 2 more things in front of you. The first one is an out-of-state travel request for Megan Lewis and Brett Clark. It's to attend the Missouri Association of Treatment Court Professionals training in Missouri, March 25th through the 27th. There's the giant or the big All Rise one that's held in the summer, and it's very expensive. We went to this one last year for a fraction of the cost and a lot of the same speakers. So it was wonderful to find one so close. They're able to drive to it. We do try to send at least 3 recovery court officers to a training held by NADCP or All Rise every year. Megan and Brett would like to attend this one. Again, it's in March. The funding was requested and awarded by the City of Manhattan Special Alcohol Fund with an estimated cost per person for training of $1,344. So the first request would be for both Megan and Brett to attend the training in Missouri in March.
I move to approve the out-of-state travel request for Megan Lewis and Brett Clark to attend the MATCP conference in Branson.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to allow Director Megan Lewis and Intensive Supervision Officer Brett Clark to attend the MATCP conference in Branson, Missouri in March. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Please sign.
Thank you. And then lastly, one more travel request for Recovery Court Officer Andrew Pellant for the same week, but for a different training, National Association of Drug Court Professionals training in Oklahoma City. This one is geared directly towards more his specific supervision position. So we wanted to send him there to get a little bit more one-on-one training. That would be from March 24th to the 27th. He would also drive, funds were requested and awarded from the City of Manhattan Special Alcohol Fund with an estimated cost for Andrew to attend at a little over $1,800.
Go and make a motion to allow Recovery Court Intensive Supervisor Officer Andrew Pellant to attend the All Rise Community Supervision Training in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma from March 24th through the 27th, 2026.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the out-of-state travel request for Andrew Pellant to attend the All Rise Community Supervision Training in Oklahoma City in March. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair, please sign.
Thank you, Commissioners. That's all right. I'll take it.
Looking down.
It's so
Megan's upstate travel request.
I've been called worse. Thank you all.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But you don't have anything else, so. Glad to get through the meeting.
It's good you're back.
Yeah, thank you.
You sound a lot better.
I feel a lot better, yeah. A little snafu in the beginning of the week, but we're okay.
We have a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we adjourn the January 29th meeting of the Riley County Commission.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded to adjourn the January 29th, 2026 meeting of the Board of Riley County Commissioners. All in favor?
Everyone have a good weekend.
Stay warm.